What's on, you party? Tis your boy Mark here, and something a little bit different today. We're going out on a midweek camp. I've got some stuff to try out because in a couple of weeks' time I've got a week off, so I'd like to go on a through hike. So I've been and bought a few bits and bobs. I've got a new rucksack. I've got a different tent to try out. I'm trying to get my weight down on the stuff that I'm carrying, and I need to just basically take it out before I do the through hike and just check that it all works, there's no problems with it, and everything's a-okay. So I've packed my bag. I've got all the stuff that I would take on my through hike with me. I've headed over to Callington, where my mum lives, and up the hill, on the side of Hill, there's a place called Compton Park, and it's got the engine tea rooms there. My mate Jamie and Kirsty own it, so they've kindly given me permission to pitch my tent on one of the pitches there tonight, try out all my gear, and just check that everything's working like it should do. So, bit of a different one, this one. It's basically getting out tonight on my night off and checking that all of my gear works and I'm happy with it. So I'm going to get back to you in a minute when we get to the tea rooms, when we get to the park, and show you where I'm pitching. Right guys, I've found my pitch. I'm going to pitch my tent up here. I've on this pitch, all that pitch there, not quite sure yet. I think I might go on that one, because if I pitch on this pitch, and I can look right across there like that, can't I? So yeah, I think it's going to be this pitch. I'm not going to bother doing a step-by-step instruction of how to put a tent up. It's the Robens Chaser 1. We all know how to put a tunnel tent up. So what I'll do is I'll put the hyperlapse on, and you can watch me in fast motion put the tent up. And then once the tent's up, I'll bring you back and show you around it. Mate, that is the Robens Chaser 1. It's quite a nice looking tent, but on the hyperlapse I did say that we all know how to put a tunnel tent up. They're not the most hardest things in the world. That possibly is one of the hardest tents I've ever had to put up. There's all these little buckle bits down here. You know, I do appreciate that the first time you ever put a tent up, you know, the first time is a hard time for putting up, the longest time. But Jesus, man, this was a hard one to put up. And to top it all off, I managed to kneel down in a pile of dog shit. so not the best start. A knee full of dog shit and a tent that was a little bit of a fiddle to put up, but it's up, and you know, I'm just going to get my stuff in and then I'll show you around. It's what I like about Robens is for one-man tents, they're always pretty spacious inside. So like I say, this tent is their ultralight camping tent. It is their ultralight through hike tent. I think it weighs about 1.2 kilograms, and first impressions, it is quite a nice tent, quite a cracking tent. Robens say that it will last up to about 120 kilometers per hour of wind, which I think is about 60-70 mile an hour winds. We're not going to get that here tonight, but it is quite a nice looking tent, very much like the Alac, not the Alac, the yeah, is it the Alac? Very much like the Abisco that I've got, and the I'm just trying to think which one it is that Hilleberg do. I don't know, Unnen, is it Alac, Unnen, and those sort of ones. But yeah, a tunnel tent, you get my drift. Quite a nice looking tent, and looking forward to camping out in it tonight. Like I say, very much like the Starlight 2, but just a darn sight lighter. So let's get the stuff in the tent and have a beer. So I just wanted to share with you some of the stuff that I've brought with me this afternoon. I've got a new quilt. This is the ultralight quilt by Sea to Summit. It's the Ember EM, the Ember EB. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. It's a Sea to Summit quilt, Ember EB, and 750 plus loft. Really looking forward to this, because that there is going to keep me warm. It's supposed to take you down to about 10 degrees, so it's very much a summer quilt. But what I normally tend to do is, there's my army softy trousers, and I've got my coat, down coat. So this time of year, spring sort of time, if it does get a little bit cold, then you can basically wear that on underneath. Now this one here apparently clips around your mat, so I'm going to pump my mat up, put this on and see how it goes. Very much looking forward to seeing this, because you know, that there is a hell of a lot better than a sleeping bag in the summer. I mean, just look at that, it's titchy, absolutely titchy. And I have brought my Thermarest mat. It's the Neo Air Thermarest. That's got an R value of about 6.5, so that is really overkill, to be honest with you, for a light camp. But I've just brought it anyway tonight, because it's, like I say, with the quilt, that'll keep me nice and toasty. I should probably bring my is it the UL80? Is it UL80 Thermarest? Well, I can never remember what make it is. Oh, it's Trekology UL80. Apologies, guys. I should probably in the summer bring that one, because it's nice and small, and then that sleeping bag quilt can go around it. I've bought my Trekology pillow, blow up pillow, and that's pretty much my bedding system. I'm going to get it blown up and then bring you back. But I've got 3 beers tonight. I've got the Volcation Special Edition Death by Cherries, a cherry sour. Check out that one. That's a 4.5. We're going to get into that in a bit. I've brought an Outland Badger Brewery Ginger Pale Ale. It's a hazy, spicy, sweet 5%er. That looks pretty cool. And another Volcation Special Edition, a double Tonka Frappe Latte Stout. Look at that one. That one looks pretty cool. As well as that, I've got all my electrical gear in that bag. I've got my cook set in there, all in one cook set there. That's like the OEX's Jet Boil version. I've got my Sierra Designs bag over there that I wore up. That's the Flex Capacitor 40 to 60 litre. I think that weighs about a 1.2. So straight away, my rucksack's 1.2 kilograms. This is 1.2 kilograms. My down bag is about 600 grams. I'm not quite sure how much these weigh, the Neo Airs, to be honest with you, but I'll probably say that's about the same. Then I've got my softies and my softy top. I've got army survival kit, a bit of food in there, which I'll go into a bit later on. So I haven't weighed my pack weight, but I reckon it's probably about 5 to 6 kilograms, which is a hell of a lot lighter than what I had when I went on the Saints Way. I think that was more on about 10 kilograms. So I'm gradually getting my pack weight down. But anyway, I'm waffling, guys. I'm going to get all my stuff set up and then I'll bring you back in a minute. Well, what a right kerfuffle that was. I do apologise, guys. I was going to come here and do an awesome review of my stuff. I'm not very good at reviews, as you can tell. Everything always seems to go wrong. Set up a time lapse for my tent, kneeled in dog shit. I can still smell it in my hands here everywhere. The tent took for ages to put up. It really, really did take for ages to put up. I was obviously doing something wrong, but I kind of think that when you do your first tent pitch, that kind of happens. Then it was a right faff getting the bedding all set up. You know, I've got this down quilt. It's the first time I've ever had a down quilt, so it was a case of having to work out how that straps to my mat and all of that lot. That was a faff. And my Trekology pillow that I've got was covered in mould because it's been out in the garage in my lockup, and obviously it's got mouldy, so I've had to go and give that a good clean. The whole situation has been a right faff from the start today, but that is the whole purpose of going out and testing your stuff before you go out, because it could have been pouring down with rain today. I could have been out on the moors somewhere, I could have been on the coastal path, it could have been absolutely teeming down with rain, and it could have taken me an hour to get all this set up. At least I know now that all my gear works, at least I know the easiest way of setting it up. At least I've pitched my tent and I know what I'm doing now. So that would be the one bit of advice that I'll give you guys, is when you buy your stuff, make sure you pitch your tent before you go out. Make sure you try all your equipment out before you go out, because you don't know what it's going to be like when you're out there, and you don't know what elements you've got to face. But anyway, guys, I've been talking for too long now. Vocation, Death by Cherries. Cool. That smells absolutely amazing. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I'm just gonna sit and admire the view. I might do a time lapse for you and just chillax for a bit, because this has been a right faff. So there we are, people. Bed is all set up. I've got the mat, seat to summit, blanket. We've got the Trekology pillow, and I've got my electrical gear and my softy stuff over there when it gets a little bit cold a little bit later on. Time for a bit of grub, I think. Tonight I have brought with me another one of these army ration packs. I've got a hunter's chicken, potato, bacon, cheese and barbecue sauce. Sounds absolutely scrummy, don't you think? So I've brought with me my OEX stove, which I absolutely love, to be honest with you. I love this stove. I think it's the one that I should be taking on my through hike. It's just so freaking easy. So easy. That goes there like that. That goes there like that. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this will all work. There we are, firing up. So that's cooking. I've also brought some Mr. Filbert's really interesting snacks. Roasted peanuts with a tangy barbecue coating. That was in my army ration pack. For afters, I've got a bit of orange flavoured cake. And we've got some biscuits. It says biscuit browns. Biscuit browns. And then there's some sachets of tea and coffee there for later on. I'm just really relaxed and chilled now, to be honest with you guys. It was a right faff setting all this up. It really, really was. And I'm kind of glad that I came out tonight and did set it all up, because in a couple of weeks' time when I got on this through hike, if I had been having to do all of this lot in the rain, out in the middle of nowhere, I think I'd have been a bit peed, to be honest with you. I'd have probably just chucked all my stuff and just gone home and just jacked it all in. But I've got some Marmite cashews as well, which I don't know if you're a Marmite fan. Are you a Marmite fan? I love a bit of Marmite, but I'm in two minds with these things. I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, but they just look like shriveled up bits of shit. They taste alright, but £2.50 for that. Anyway, I'm watching the sun go down in my tent on a Thursday night. What else could you ask for? I'm going to cook this up and then I'll show you when it's ready. Just made myself a nice cup of coffee in my Sea to Summit mug with my army ration pack. And I'm now going to open up my hunter's chicken and check this out. I'm quite looking forward to this, actually. I really am. Why does these packs never open up like easy? Let's have a look inside this bad boy then, shall we? Hunter's chicken. So far, these army ration packs that I've had, every single one of them has been awesome. And this doesn't look like it's going to disappoint. Look at that. Nice big bits of chicken. That is amazing. Hunter's chicken, potatoes, bacon and cheese in a barbecue sauce. Let me see if I can find you a piece of chicken. They're just all nice big bits of chicken. Oh, look, I'm turning this off. I'm going to scarf this down. And then after that, I'm going to have a look around the campsite. Because Jamie's just messaged me on Instagram and said that they've just built a new toilet blocks at the top there. 4 individual like toilet blocks and showers and washing up areas. So I'm going to get up there and have a look at that in a minute. I will say one thing. I've known Jamie now for years and years and years, and him and his family have done an amazing job at on this campsite. They basically put the cafeteria down there, and they've made this into a campsite, and over about 10-15 years now they really have developed this into a banging site. There's some lovely pictures here, so guys, if ever you're down in Cornwall, head on over to Compton Park campsite, the Engine Tea Room, Callington. They do some lovely food. I'll show you the breakfasts in the morning, really good food, and it's a great little setting, looking out across Carradon Moor. Yeah, it's great. I'm gonna have my food, it's going cold. Catch you in a minute. Absolute cracking night so far. I think it's gonna be a cold one tonight, to be honest with you. I'm glad I bought my thermal beer, to be honest. I really am. I'm on my second beer now. I'm on the Outland Badger Brewery Ginger Pale Ale. It's a hazy, spicy, sweet, 5% volume. There we are. I've just watched the sun go down, and I'm just gonna lay back and chillax in the tent. Oh, I'm so glad I come out tonight. I really am. So glad. Let's have a drive by, see what this smells like. There is a bit of a fruity smell to it. It smells a bit like a shandy. Well, that's good. That is good. You can tell you can taste the ginger. Very delicate in the back of your palate. That's nice. Check that one out. I'm just going to sit back, watch a bit of YouTube in my new tent. Banging. So first impressions of the Robens Chaser 1. Quite impressive it, guys. There's a nice bit of room in here. Vestibule isn't the greatest of areas, I must admit. You wouldn't be able to do any cooking in it. I mean, you're not supposed to do any cooking in your tent anyway. You'd have to open the door up, but you're limited for space there. But all in all, it's not a bad sized tent. And as for the quilt, I didn't think I'd ever be a fan of the quilts, to be honest with you. But you know, this one, Cedar Summit quilt, is quite a nice quilt. You wrap it around the bottom of your pad, tie it up nice and tight, strap it underneath your pad, and I'm lovely and warm. So I'm going to get my head down, I think, watch a bit of YouTube and fall asleep. See you in the morning. Morning, mate. How we doing? It is 5 to 8. The weather is nice, no rain during the night, and comfortable sleep, to be honest with you. Woke up about 3 o'clock, couldn't get back to sleep, but it's now about 5 to 8, something like that, and I've had a nice lay in, a nice decent night's sleep in this tent, to be honest with you. A little bit of condensation on the inside last night, but nothing drastic. Do you know what I mean? Nothing drastic. So I'm just gonna lounge around for half an hour, just chillax, because the coffee shop, the engine room, tea room, doesn't open until 9 o'clock. So I'm just gonna have a little bit of a chillax for half an hour before I pack my shit up, go down and get a nice yummy scrummy breakfast before heading home, and getting on with the jobs that the other lady, not the other lady, but the good lady, the other half, will have set for me for the day. So I'm just going to sit back, chillax, and I'm going to leave you with the view. Look at that for this morning. One thing that I would like to show you, which has been a huge game changer, a huge success, is this Cedar Summit quilt. Now, I never thought that I would be a fan of these quilts, but it is the Ember EM1, and it's the 850 plus lofted down, and it literally just clips on underneath your sleeping pad like that. clips on underneath with those clips, and that's what it looks like inside. And I'll tell you what, there's some nice pockets there of down, and that did keep me absolutely toasty last night. It really did. I wasn't cold in the night whatsoever. So what with using the Thermarest Neo X Firm and one of these down quilts, you can pretty much keep nice and warm in all weathers, depending on the loft of the quilt. I think I may be tempted in the future to buy quilts. Oh, I did have a bit of a catastrophe in the night, to be honest with you. There, that's my Trekology pillow. I've used it about 4 times, 5 times if that, and it is completely dead, died on me. I think Hayes had the same problem there the other day. His pillow went on him, so that so far I've had a Trekology pillow and a Trekology UL80 totally die on me. Now this thing here, when you blow it up, it seems to be leaking around the seam. There we are, I'll show you. Can you see? It's leaking. Oh, hold on. Perhaps if I turn the camera the other way, it's leaking around there. There. Shocking. So, yeah. Another leaky Trekology piece of equipment. Chuck that shit in the bin. So, first impressions on the tent whilst I walk around. It's not a bad little tent. Like I say, it took me a while to master out how to put it up, but that was just because it was the first time putting it up. Looking around it, I think I've pretty much done a good job putting it up. It's quite a sturdy tent, a very light tent. It looks like it's crafted well. There are some different ways of setting this up, configuration, so you can take the sheet off and roll it up so you can look at the stars, or you can take the inner out. A few people have commented on the reviews I've seen of the actual bottom of the tent, how it is very thin. Yeah, it is thin, but it's nothing that I'd worry about, to be honest with you. Not much of a huge vestibule. I am going to see if I can put a footprint in this one. I'm not sure. I did get a spare footprint for my Fjällräven Abisko 1, so I am going to put that up at some stage and see if that will fit in here. I don't think it will. I think it's going to be too big, but we can try it out. There's a nice amount of space in here internally to sleep. I would say there's as much room, if not more, than my Abisko 1. You've got the summer mesh on the inside for having it to be a little bit lighter. The one thing that I would say about this tent is, other than having a pocket there for stuffing the door in, there's only that one little pocket over there, and it's not a very big one. Now I am being very critical, very picky now, and if I have to pick anything, that's one thing that I would have said, that they could have perhaps put one up over here, perhaps another pocket. I do like that it's got a washing line up the top there, and that's like keeps the inside nice and sturdy. The line goes right the way down to there and right up there, so you can hang stuff on. But all in all, not a bad tent. I mean, I think they're about, I can't remember what price this is. I think they're about a £300 odd pound, 300 and something pound. I'm not quite sure. But the reason why I bought this tent is because, like I say, I'm going to do a bit of through hiking, and I know a lot of these people are buying Lanshan 1s and Lanshan 2s and having pole tents because they're, you know, you can use your hiking poles as the framework for the tent, and it makes it a hell of a lot lighter. But for me, I don't use walking poles, so I was looking for a nice light tent that wasn't a hiking pole tent, if you see what I mean. So for me, this kind of fits the bill. You know, 4 poles on either end, a big pole in the middle, a nice and light tent. I think it weighs about 1.265, something like that. Yeah, overall, first impressions, I quite like it. We'll take it out on the through hike in a couple of weeks' time and see how we get on with it, shall we? Anyway, I'm going to pack all this shit down, like I said, and go and get a breakfast. one thing I did do with this tent is I changed the pegs. These are the pegs that you get with the Robens tent. I've never seen anything like it. They're stakes, I think they're called, and I changed them. Went out and bought a pack of Hillybird pegs, 40 quid, I know, but I bought Hillybird pegs because I like Hillybird pegs, and if any of the tent pegs from my other tents go missing, I know that I've got some backup pegs. So one thing I would say is I would replace the pegs, replace the stakes with pegs, because they don't look that strong and I can see them bending on a coastal hike. There we are, empty pitch. Time to go down now and get a spot of brekkie. There's the campsite, look. Very nice. Head on to Compton Park, and head on down to the cafe, the engine tea room, get some chow. It's well worth coming to Callington for, guys. Whew, absolutely stuffed. Had a nice full English breakfast there. I think it's called the Stack was what I had, and a latte. Just want to say a big thank you to Jamie and all the crew here at Compton Park. I had a great night's stay, and like I say, I didn't want to go filming whilst I was having my breakfast because there was lots of people in there and I was respectful for them. But guys, please head on over to Compton Park. I'm at the sign now. Look, there we are, Compton Park, and it's also called the Engine Room Tea Rooms. Please head over to Callington, southeast Cornwall. When you're in this area near Plymouth, head over to them, say Jaff sent you, and he'll tell you a few tales, I expect. But I'm heading off home now. Had a great camp, great midweek camp. I hope you've enjoyed the little, well, it's not really a review, just first look at my through hiking gear. The Robens Chaser 1 Sierra Designs pack sack, my Cedar Summit quilt. I'll put some links to them in the notes, and once again guys, if you like what you saw, please like and subscribe, and also I am doing a buy me a coffee, but I've called it buy me a beer. And if you like what the channel's all about and you'd like to contribute it so we can buy some new equipment and all that sort of stuff, feel free to buy me a coffee or buy me a beer, and get on Instagram, markjeffreypresents_. Tell me what you thought of this video. So until next time, stay safe, stay classy, and keep on hiking. Cheese.